Hello, I am Stephanie, an artist living in Vannes, France, and today I'm going to show you or share with you the process of my latest finished sculpture, which is a fully covered teacup that I thrifted. So it's a teacup that I found in a thrift shop. Now, most objects I use in my sculptures are either trash or thrifted. That's how I like it. I like to use old objects, objects that nobody really wants anymore, and turn them into art. It's a statement, but it's also fun, it's upcycling, and it just fits with my overall narrative. Now, this here is a bit peculiar because usually I don't fully cover my objects. I always find a certain balance between the object and the growth, but I don't know, I really felt like I wanted to let nature completely take over, and I've been wanting to do that for a while to just see how it looked like. And before making that specific teacup, I actually talked to a friend of mine, and that friend of mine basically asked me to cover an object fully because she thought it would be interesting. So between my wanting to cover an object and her telling me to cover an object, here I am covering an object. So here I used epoxy clay, so I would really not recommend epoxy clay to any beginner. It's a very toxic clay, it's not nice to use at all. I actually don't really like using it, and I've been using more and more different clays than epoxy clay. I've been trying a lot of different air dry clays and also cold porcelain, which I'm starting to fall in love with. I really like cold porcelain. So yeah, but here I'm using epoxy clay. I still have some at home, and to be honest, for that specific look, epoxy clay is just very practical. You could use polymer clay, but I just hate baking the clay now. I'm so used to not having to bake the clay and just to wait for the clay to either dry or cure on its own. Epoxy clay is self-curing type of clay, so you mix two compounds and it cures within 3 hours or less if your clay is a little bit older. Where was I going with that? Anyway, epoxy clay, bad, but I still used it here and then painted it. Also, I would really like to apologize for last week. I did set up a premiere for the painting that I'm working on, so that little bird, and so I set up a premiere and I completely forgot about it, so I didn't come, which is extremely professional from my part, from my side. So yeah, I'm very sorry, I apologize if you came to last week's premiere. So usually you're not that many to come, but still it was completely unintentional. I have an excuse, but it's a really bad one. I actually took last Friday off and I played video games, most notably Stardew Valley, and I was playing instead of coming to the premiere. So yeah, again, I'm really sorry about that. It will not happen again. Now this video here is not going to be a premiere because I have a meeting, so I cannot come. But I think next week I will set up the premiere again and hopefully not forget about it like I did last week, which again, I have no words. Now you see here the teacup, I'm painting it. So I decided originally to paint it with a bit of red in it. I thought red would be a bit more dramatic, but later on I changed my mind and I just covered it with green, and I think the end result works much better than with the red. So yeah, you're going to see a few minutes of the fake or the wrong paint, and then I just paint over. Which, by the way, happens often with me. Sometimes I start with one color scheme and then I decide otherwise because I just don't like it. I would highly recommend doing that if you are in the middle of an artwork and you just don't like the direction it is taking, then just change it. Most of the time you can easily change colors. Watercolors are a bit trickier, but they're squash, so yeah, nothing is unchangeable, unsavable. And I always feel that with artworks, you do have to search a bit and to push yourself a bit in certain directions. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And then you just have to salvage it somehow. So yeah, that's, I think, something that is important to note. Now, back to video games, because I don't really have a lot to tell you today, guys. So I've been playing video games. I think I am not living the whole pandemic too well these days. I really do miss the luxury of being able to hop onto a train and then just go to a bigger city. As you might know, the city I live in is fairly small, and it comes with a lot of good plus sides. We are very nearby the ocean, and so we can have really nice walks in the nature. The air is super clean here, it's very calm, and overall I would say it's a nice place to live in. But, however, personally, I'm really a city girl. I know my work is always about nature, but I thrive in cities. I don't know, it's the excitement, the overflow, the junk, the trash, the ugliness of cities. It inspires me really, and it's I'm not sure how to explain it, but my mind is basically buzzing in cities. So I always need kind of a city fix once in a while. And yeah, pandemic right now. So I cannot do that. And even though, I mean, you can travel, I think, but it doesn't make much sense. My parents live in Berlin, and I know right now everything is closed. So, you know, what's the point? What's the point of traveling with a mask for hours? From here where I live to Berlin by train, it's about 12 hours. So I always prefer to take the train over airplanes because it's less, it's better for the environment. So usually I travel by train if I can. But so yeah, that would mean 12 hours of a mask, and then I think you have to self-isolate for at least 5 or 10 days right now in Germany. And again, everything is closed, so I would not be able to go to any museums or art galleries, or, you know, just have some nice lunch or dinner. So what's the point? So all of that to say that I am probably needing a bit of time off here and there, and so I've been playing a lot of video games, which, I mean, it's okay, it's not addictive, like not too much. And the good thing is, since I'm staying a lot more at home, for me, I've always had a difficult time staying at home and not working, because I work from home, so all my art stuff is at home, and I tend to do art when I'm bored, which isn't always ideal, and sometimes I just need a break, and sometimes I'm just at a loss at what to do. So yeah, video games have been saving me over the last weeks. So yeah, I've been mostly playing Stardew Valley, and I recently downloaded The Sims 2. I've played my fair share on The Sims 4, but I just don't know, the AI is just so stupid. They cannot live on their own at all. If you don't tell them everything to do, they just die. And I was getting a little bit tired of that. So I downloaded The Sims 2, and I must admit, it's incredible how intelligent those Sims are. If you don't do anything with them, they are able to feed themselves, to wash themselves, and even to go to the toilet themselves, which seems impossible for any of the Sims 4 personage. So yeah, I don't know. Something's very wrong with that franchise. I'm probably not going to put any money into Sims 5, to be honest. But that's another topic. And another game that I've played, so I played a lot of Stardew Valley as well, which I love. Honestly, it's such a fun game. It's that easygoing kind of fun, but with lots of things to do. And you know, it never really gets boring to me. You can be more of an adventurer and then go fight off monsters, or you can just farm whatever crops, or do wine and pickles and jams. You know, I don't know. I like that kind of games. It's just good fun. And the other game that I really like right now is Hospital Point 2. So it's more of a construction game, and I've always liked construction games. I used to play SimCity a lot as well, which I also have downloaded maybe last year or so, because I really loved that game. And you don't really have that type of good games. Like, it's more like the old school games, if that makes sense. I simply grew up with that type of game, so that's why I prefer. Also, my cat is meowing right now. I'm not sure what he wants. Maybe he wants to go out. So he will have to wait a few minutes until I'm done here. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of video games. Do you play video games to change your mind, or to have that, you know, to be able to have a pause, a break in your life? I think video games are actually really fun to, you know, to play with. I mean, obviously, it's a game. Yeah, so let me know if you have any video games you love right now, and I might check them out. I usually don't really like the video games where you can die. I get way too stressed about those. Yeah, I need something chill. But yeah, if you have any video games you love, let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, and maybe I'll try whatever game you suggest if I haven't tried it already. What else? We are reaching the end soonish, so here I'm just finishing off the teacup. As you see, or as you saw in the video, it's nothing too fancy, a lot of different growth. My usual, you know, signature type of sculpting. And yeah, and a blue-green color scheme in the end. By the way, what's your favorite color? Because it seems everyone likes blue. I have an illustration idea, and I asked all of my best friends to tell me which color they like best, and it's blue. So I'm like, great, this is going to be a great blue illustration. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!